Hey everyone, it's Kevin here with Reviews About Anything, and today we have my Jabra Elite 85H headphones. I've had them for a couple weeks now, and I thought I'd give my initial impressions on these headphones and what I'm using them for and how they've been. So, I purchased these headphones, if you saw my last video, because the Shure headphones I have with my mod mic, the headphones themselves broke. So the SRH 840s from Shure cracked on one of the joints where the ear cup connects to the headband, and it just broke completely. So I was using those for conference calls and for video calls and listening to, music and different videos and just work-related stuff, of course. So I needed a replacement because Shure wasn't getting back with me, and I've always had good luck with Jabra, so I purchased these. One of the main reasons is they have an 8 mic array on them, and that helps a lot with video and voice calls that I do a lot with these headphones, especially at the time we're in. These online meetings are more and more, and I have them every day, so these have been great for that. So I really like this case. I keep them in the case pretty much all the time for travel and everything. It's a leatherette case, but it's a nice hard shell. It's not too thick or anything. It's pretty thin, so fits well in my messenger bag that I used to carry to work and back. Also in a backpack, I've thrown them in there before. So has a nice soft lining on the inside to make sure the headphones don't get damaged or anything. And then I don't know why I haven't thrown those away yet, but I keep the cable in here, of course. I don't keep the regular 3.5 in there, just because my work laptop actually has a separate mic and headphone input. So this would only work as a wired headset, and I don't see the purpose of that since it is Bluetooth. So case is nice. I recommend using it. It's not horribly big to travel around with. So the headphones themselves, they're quite nice. It's a mostly plastic build. So the cup here is plastic with a fabric top, fabric around this part here, and then this is a plastic ring, and it's mirrored on this side as well. And on the other cup, we have our multifunction buttons here. So you have your up and down volume, holding to skip and go back tracks, and your pause and play, and there's a couple other functions you can set up within the app. So that's everything controlled on that ear. That's the right ear cup. And then looking at the hinges here, the hinge here is metal. So that's nice. This hinge part here that recesses into this plastic arm is metal here. And the swivel joint is plastic and metal, as you can see here. So they do swivel nice. It's a very smooth, as you can hear, noise-free experience. They do pivot in and out, and obviously left and right. So the way one of the interesting things about these headphones is the way that they turn on is you actually have to flip the ear cups straight, and then they turn on, which is an interesting method. Instead of having a power button or a switch or anything, it's just the switch is built into the hinge mechanism. So when you put the headphones like you're about to put them on, then they turn on. Looking at the rest of them, we have over on here is a button to control your hearing options. So you have nothing. You have hear through, so it uses the mic array on the headphones to put in audio from your surroundings, which is nice in the office. And then you also have ANC. The ANC works good. It's not great. I would say it's pretty on par with the Bang & Olufsen H99s that I have. A touch better, I would say, simply just because the H99s do have a little bit of pressure sometimes in the ear from their noise canceling method. So these don't really have much pressure, which is nice. And then they're not as good as the Sony noise canceling. I have not used Bose noise canceling, so I'm not sure about that, but I know the Sony and the Bose are supposed to be pretty comparable, where the Sony wins out in most cases, but this is, I think, just a step below those. But it's very good, especially for Jabra's first pretty much launch into noise canceling headphones. So good enough. I haven't used them on a plane yet or anything. I've just used them in a normal office environment, or I guess below average or above average, depending on the way you want to look at it. Office environment. I am a engineer and I work in research and development, so we are building prototypes and working on different things. So there are sometimes hand drills going on in the background and people soldering different things, talking, using heat guns, 3D printers, and things like that. So it works quite well in that environment. So if that's a similar environment for you, I think it should be fine. I have not used them either in a busy, crowded place like a coffee shop or a bus or anything. So just to keep that in mind. So planes, buses, busy coffee shops. I'm not aware of how ANC would work in those situations, but a above average busy office with some extra noises, they work pretty good. The button on this side is for your microphone, which is nice for when you're in calls. And then on the bottom here, we have USB-C with a charge indicator light and your headphone jack there. Then we turn them over. These are very nice and soft cushions here. They are a leatherette material, but they do go quite deep, and the driver is angled towards your ear, which is nice. Might be able to, I don't know if you'll be able to make that out in there, but it does start here and go deeper as you go down on both ear cups. There's a little bit of padding as well on the inside, a little bit of foam you can feel around your drivers right here, and around it there's a little bit of padding, so if you have bigger ears and it sits on your ear a little bit, it's not uncomfortable. The leather material seems fine so far. I haven't had any issues with it. Same thing with the fabric material and the headband here. All of it seems good so far. No issues to speak of. So when you flip them like that, it just powered on. You can actually hear this one, if I swivel it closer to the mic for you guys, makes no noise. But the right ear cup, there's a little bit of a click you can hear. And that's where, this is how the headphones turn on, is with the right cup. I think this is where most of the technology is. So if I put it closer here, just makes a boot up noise, and it boots up only with the right cup. So you don't have to turn both of them to turn it on. Sound quality is pretty good so far. They're still breaking in a bit. Speakers and headphones do have a bit of a break-in period. They do change a little bit over time. But from my experience, the bass is quite good. The treble's pretty good, and the mids as well. I would say it has an emphasis towards mids a little bit, but that also might be because I'm used to using it mostly in conference calls. Listening to music, it seems relatively neutral, maybe a slight V shape, but I feel that the V has a bit of a peak in the mids. But that might change over time. Like I said, I haven't used these headphones a tremendous amount for just listening to music. It's mostly been conference calls and podcasts in the background while working. So it's mostly people talking that I've listened to on these headphones. I will give them more music listens when I get into a more in-depth review. But for now, this is what I've noticed. And then I do appreciate that they can fold flat like this, so you can wear them around your neck and not have them up on the pads up on your neck, which is nice. The adjustment is a friction here, a friction fit for the arm. There's no clicks, so that's how that works. They're not horribly light headphones, but they're also not horribly heavy. They're a little bit heavier than the Sony 1000 series headphones, and I think the Bose as well. They're pretty comparable to my Bang & Olufsen's in weight, so quite used to it. Nothing horrible. Other than that, the headphones have been really good so far. Battery life has been close to what they claim. It kind of depends on the product I'm using. For some reason with my laptop, the battery doesn't last as long, but I think that's because my laptop has an old Bluetooth protocol, and I think it's Bluetooth 3.0 or something on my laptop for work. We're using it with my phone or my home computer. I haven't had as many issues with battery life. It's pretty much as claimed. I don't use the ANC very often. I personally just like using them passive. They block out quite a bit of noise just passively as well. So that's a good feature if you're not a fan of noise canceling. These cups are nice and wide. I can basically fit three of my knuckles in there. And which it's a couple inches there, so we're probably looking about three plus inches this way, and maybe about 1.5 inches that way, or a little bit bigger. And then it's also beveled in, so your ear rests in it more naturally. So it should be good for most head types, and it's very isolating because of that. And the pads itself are relatively memory foam, not super. They bounce back relatively quickly, but it's nice and soft, comfortable in your ear. I haven't found a way to take these ear cups off. I don't know if anyone's done it online, but I feel like they're attached relatively permanently. I haven't want to rip them off or anything since I use these for work, but I don't know how easy it'd be to replace these ear pads, unfortunately. Other than that, like I said, they've been really good. No weird creaks, no cracks, or anything to be worried about so far, which is nice. These seem like pretty durable headphones. Granted, I am taking care of them, of course, putting them in the case and putting them in a messenger bag. I'm not throwing them around or anything, but just to note for anyone that's curious. If you guys would like me to compare these to anything specific, put in the comment section down below. I'll try my best to either get my hands on different models you're talking about, or I do have the Bang & Olufsen's here. And then I do know I have access to a pair of the Sony 1000 M4s actually that just came out. So if you want to see them compared to that, let me know. Or anything else, just put them in the comment section down below. Like the video, please, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.